Hello, everybody, and welcome to Kyrus Has Friends, the show where I sit down and talk with the people that mean the most to me, and those people are my friends. Before we get to the special guest at hand today, if you are liking what you're watching today, please be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram and on Twitter at The Vibe with Kai. You can also follow me on Snapchat and on TikTok at Kyrus Keenan, and then you can visit my website at thevibewithkai.com, where I'm always posting blogs and videos and things that help you do good, feel good, be good, and live a good life full of good vibes. And you can also get your Vibe with Kai merchandise. You can get your t-shirts and your hats and all of the other stuff that you want to fill up your closet with. You can get it, thevibewithkai.com. I have some new designs up there. Get your stuff. You won't regret it. Or maybe you will. Who knows? I don't care. On to the next section of this show. The show where I get to sit with people like this person right here, somebody that I have grown to admire and love and adore, somebody that I go way back with, back to the days of Nottingham High School. Good Lord.
Well, it's not way back. We're not that old. We're not.
We are pretty old. I'm sitting here with the writer and the star. Yeah, I said it because it's true. The writer and the star of DIVOS, which just opened up this past week on demand on the streaming services that you love and enjoy. Matt Steele, superstar Matt Steele. What's up, man?
No, hello. What a wonderful high school reunion.
I know. Wait, do you remember our first show?
Our first show together? Yeah,
Yes.
it was the Music Man. It was my freshman year. It was your sophomore year.
Yes.
Because you're class of 05.
I am 05, that's right.
So like we are like a little bit of rivals, but
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, the thing is, I remember watching you in Big on HTV.
Oh my God.
I remember watching because when I was a little kid, my summers would literally just be talk shows like Jenny Jones and Sally Jesse Raphael and everything, and watching the school plays from all the shows.
Yeah, because they on the local TV channel they would show the like home recordings of these high school shows and middle school shows. Yeah,
and so I remember watching you in Big, and I remember being like, he's really good. He wasn't in The Wizard of Oz the previous year. Where did he come from?
Yeah, believe it or not, that was my first show ever.
Yeah, because
it was my first show ever. I had never done any kind of theater before in my life, and here's the funny thing: I knew nothing about theater etiquette at all. So let me tell you what I did. My opening night, during intermission, I went from the backstage dressing room area to the area where they were selling concession stands, and I was talking with my family, just like, hey, how do you like the show so far? I had no idea you're not supposed to do that. I had no idea. I just walked in. I was like, oh, you guys like the show? I'm like in full costume, full makeup. I'm like, oh, you guys like the show?
That's amazing. That's insane. How did you get past? Didn't they barricade you in there?
No, well, my teacher, Mr. Slavin, the principal at the time, because he was also the director, he saw, because he was out there, and he's like, go backstage. I was like, why? I was supposed to talk to my family. He's like, no, you're not supposed to be out.
What the hell are you doing here? Yeah. So yeah, I distinctly remember you because for those of you who don't know, we went to different middle schools and then we went to the same high school.
Yes.
And so then I remember the next year you were a freshman in high school and my brother was a senior.
Yes.
And he was like, oh, and the understudy you were like the male understudy for all of the roles in Anything Goes.
Yes.
And he was like, is Keenan Westcott? And I was like, he's that kid from Big. I remember that. I guess he goes to Nottingham. So yeah. And then our first show together was The Music Man.
You know, and here's why your movie actually hit close to home for me, because so the one character that like your rival that you go up against, he goes to audition for the school show and he's in the sling, right? That was my first audition, Matt. The only reason that I auditioned for Big the Musical was because I broke my wrist playing basketball for the team that year, so my teacher, I can't remember her name, Miss Chernosky, she said, you should go out for the school show. I was like, that's stupid. Theater is dumb.
Theater sucks.
Like, I'm like, theater is stupid. But then I found out that this girl, Diane Bassick, was auditioning, and I loved her. I was like, oh, I want to marry her.
You know, she's like my fourth cousin or something, right?
No way, really?
Yeah. So
oh my God,
if you married her, we could have been related.
I had the biggest crush on her. So I found out that she was auditioning for the school show, and I'm like, well, maybe I'll give it a shot, right? And so I did my audition in a sling. So when that scene popped up on your show, I was like, or on your movie, I was like, that's me. That's me.
I remember you telling me that the reason why you auditioned was because you broke your arm. I remember that story like from years ago. I totally forgot about it.
Yep, that's the reason.
It's so funny hearing people talk about like the things that really happened to them like in their high school experience. Like my one friend went to a Catholic school, and the show wasn't, or the movie wasn't originally set in a Catholic school. It was originally set in a public school, but then we got access to this church that had a school attached. So we were like, oh, let's make it a Catholic school. And they perform like on the altar because they don't have a theater and everything. Like this is how like Podunk like this school play is. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Is that something that a Catholic school would do and everything? Like, is that sacrilegious in some sort of way? And my friend, one of my best friends who was actually in the movie, Lauren, she played Cindy Shettlebauer, over in Cheaper Girl. She told me, she was like, I went to a Catholic middle school, and that's exactly what we did, and it looked ridiculous.
That's awesome, dude. Well, let's talk about this for a second. So let's talk about the journey from your head to what we watched on the screen this week, and all of that. Like, how is it? Was this your first script that you've ever written?
I had written like film scripts, like just sort of for fun. I had, my background is in writing for teenagers. My brother and I don't know if you know this, but my brother back in high school. Didn't you guys write a script together that we did did we do like a not us, but like a scene at like one of the reunion things? Did we do that? I think you did like the sort of like North Star alumni celebration or whatever, and I think my brother wrote a song for it, because my brother and I are playwrights, and we collaborate together. We actually wrote, you know how we did the murder mystery? We started it your senior year and my junior year. In the fall, we would do a murder mystery comedy. Well, then after I graduated, my brother went on to direct the murder mysteries at Nottingham. And then after a couple years of him directing it, he was like, Matthew, we're going to write the murder mystery this year. And I was like, okay. So we wrote the murder mystery, and then it was like a big hit. And then we were like, oh, damn, we got to write the murder mystery every year from now on. So for the next several years, we wrote the murder mystery and everything. So my background in terms of writing is in, playwriting, especially for like younger actors. But I had, during end of college, right after I graduated, I, started writing some film stuff and everything. But DIVOS was a full script that I actually started and completed in 2011. Oh, wow. So I just sort of had this idea. I was like, I want to write about boys in their high school musical, and I want the focus to be specifically like on the boys, because it is such like a girl dominated field. So it's such an interesting dynamic with boys in their high school musical, because you got the couple of boys that are really serious about it, and then you have like the other 95% of the boys in the school show who were somehow like tricked to be there, or like just did it like for fun, and they're just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And like, I feel like the me and yous of the group are just like, what is everyone doing? Why isn't everyone taking this seriously? So I really wanted to sort of focus on that dynamic. And especially because I had just graduated from a musical theater program at NYU. And so that was what the 2011 version of the script was very, it was very much more of like even more of like an ensemble piece. It's very much like, it's about like all these boys who like put on the show together and like try to direct and it's a little bit more of like a feel good piece and everything. And so then I put it down for 2 years, because in reading it and having like my brother read it and critique and everything, I'm just it's really funny, but nothing happens. Like there's no conflict here. So then I put it down for 2 years. In that time I moved to LA. I did different you know, various other different personal projects and everything. And then in 2014, I was like, let me pick this back up and see if I can like give this some sort of semblance of a plot.
Right.
And so then I sort of just transformed the whole thing, and I kept, you know, the one protagonist or antagonist, as he sometimes is.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And I was just like, all right, I feel like I want to make him more unlikable.
Right.
But then he needs like a rival, like he needs like someone to fight against. And so that's when I sort of came up with this sort of central dynamic between, okay, this is about rivals in a school play. And then I was very much inspired by the movie All About Eve.
Sure.
And so, like, have you seen All About Eve? It's basically, DIVOS is basically, you know, all about Eve, right. Except just about boys. And so I really took that and went with it. And I was just like, no, like, this isn't going to be a feel-good piece. This is about competition. There are no friends. You don't have friends in the school play.
Not to people like you and I know, but to everybody else, they're like, we're just here to have a good time. It's like my career is dependent upon this performance.
Oh my God. Like, it's life or death and everything. And of course, like, you know, we weren't as horrible as, you know, the two main characters in DIVOS, but like still, like, you took it seriously. Like, this was like, we were at the state finals of like the football game. Like, you know, this is beyond school sports and everything. This is a school play, because you only got one shot or three shots.
Right.
It's a 3-show.
Right.
Thing,
Exactly.
You know? And like, the thing is, like, your whole year revolves around the school play. Like, it can be made or broken by what the play is.
I can't tell you. I can't tell you the flashbacks that I got. The scene where it's leading up to the reveal of like who's cast. Like, I'll never forget like the anxiety that my brain would go through when we knew that the cast list was going to be posted on the doors that morning or whenever after school, whenever they would post it. Like, the anxiety that goes through my head. I had so many flashbacks, man. Oh my gosh.
And the thing is, like, the people who would, like, I remember our sophomore year when we did The Wiz, they posted it at the end of the day, because they didn't want people, because they had problems with people coming in, not being happy with the part they got, and like leaving school. And you know, when you go to school and then leave, you become a liability, because like the school's supposed to watch, so they couldn't have that. So they were like, we're posting it at the end of the day. And we were all just like, what do you mean it's going up at the end of the day? We can't wait this whole day. And I remember my 8th grade year, we did Cinderella, and the cast list was supposed to go up on like a Friday, and for some reason they like waited until the following Wednesday to post it. So like, we were all just like,
did you go to Grice or Crockett?
I went to Crockett.
You went to Crockett. Okay. Man, I had so many memories. I like just watching that movie, because I'm like, I know this feeling right now. And what's funny, because like there's one point, and this is not giving anything away, because I don't want to give anything too much away for people that haven't seen it yet. But there's one moment where you go to like this party, and you run into your I guess like rivals are from another school. Right?
From the Performing Arts High School.
Right. And from I had that when I was in high school. There was this other, I can't remember his name right now, but I can't remember his name, but I remember going to see Footloose at Steiner, and he was the lead in Footloose. And I remember, like, this is back in like AOL Instant Messenger days, right? And I remember him shooting me an AOL Instant Message, and I think our show opened up before there or something like that. And he shot me a message. I was like, hey, you know, break legs with the show, whatever. And like, I was like, and then I went to go see him, and he was so freaking good. I was like, Corey
Priscilla.
Yeah, that's who it was. Yes.
Yeah, Corey and I went to Crockett together.
No way. Wait,
Corey's great. I saw Corey like maybe like a year and a half ago, and he was and he said something about like wanting to move to LA, and I was like, come to LA, I need friends.
Yeah, it was Corey. That's right. It was Corey Priscilla.
Yeah. And he was great in Footloose.
He was fantastic, because he could dance to, and I remember he could do like a very intricate like Michael Jackson impression, and I think they like threw that in there.
Oh yeah, he did like Michael Jackson and like Elvis. Like he really could like tap into that. Like,
yeah,
really well.
yeah. And I remember sitting there in that audience, I was like,
That's so funny. We gotta invite him on the show and like have like a three-way like battle.
Dude, 100%. This needs to happen. But I'm so like the one thing I wanted to talk about was this supposed to get like a theatrical release and then it got pushed to demand because of the pandemic? Is that what happened?
No, we were never set to do well, no, I shouldn't say that. We were because, it is an independent film.
Right.
And with, even if there wasn't a pandemic, like the way things were going, we were very much like, comedy movies, especially comedy movies geared towards young people, like don't necessarily do as well theatrically. Like, honestly, like these days, like if you don't have like a cape or something, or you're not like a comic book character, like or you're not a cartoon,
or just or original content in general just doesn't really
it's hard to do well in a movie theater and everything. Even like those small a lot of films that are like the independent films that do get released like the smaller theaters, like they really put themselves out there like for the clout and for the for everything. Like they really don't make, and for like the Oscar consideration and everything, like they really don't make money anymore, and it's such a shame.
So it was like always like the goal to kind of do like these on-demand services, sort of.
Well, we were always kind of like we got a distribution deal right away.
That's awesome.
And then we got a number of distribution deals, and we were able to pick, our favorite ones. So we were very lucky as far as that goes. And they were like, if you want to open theatrically, like we can totally plan on doing that and everything. So we did have some plans to open in limited theaters and everything. And what we were also planning on doing was, trying like a couple festivals and everything and seeing how that would go. But then, of course, like the pandemic happened and blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
But so it's been a stressful time, but like we always knew that the way we would be able to make money off of this movie would be, the on-demand services and everything, because that's how everybody's watching movies. I mean, it's not, I'm totally like, like a film snob. I love going to the movie theater by myself. Like there's nothing I love more than like
people
going
think
to
I'm crazy. Do people think you're crazy for doing that? Because people think I'm crazy.
Oh, I love movies with other people.
Yes.
Like there's nothing that can ruin a movie more than someone sitting next to you. Like,
oh my gosh.
And I hate like, oh, it's the movie's over, let's talk about it. It's like, no, I just want to like think about it in my head.
Right. Like there's very few people that I enjoy going to the movies with. One of my movie buddies, Michael Cray. He's my movie buddy, right? Because he when we go to the movies, we're focused on the movie. Like there's nothing else around. Like it's just me, you, movie. Right.
Yeah.
But like I'm not. I can't go to the movies with people sometimes. I am such a I want to pay attention. I don't want you like hit me like, oh, you see that? Yes, I saw it. I'm looking at it.
me and my friend Fernando, because I go to the movies with my friend Fernando sometimes, and we get into so many fights because like I insist on being there for all of the trailers. Like because that's the experience. Like I paid my ticket. It's part of the whole thing. It gets you excited. It gets you like, and he's literally just like, let's walk in 2 seconds before the movie starts.
No,
and I'm just like, no. Because also then you run the risk of missing a couple seconds at the beginning. Like you need the couple seconds of darkness.
Yes.
And then it happens. Like, so
I'm with you.
Yeah, I will go to the movies like my friends really want to go, obviously. But like when it's like Oscar season, when it's September through December, like beginning of January, and like those movies are coming out, I'm like, I'm not seeing any movie with anyone. Like I'm going by myself.
Well, if I remember correctly, I know like during like the award season is when you like really hit your prime, right? Because like you put out these videos sometimes that just have me cracking up. Just like you're just such a joy and just to watch sometimes. And like that's so much fun. Like what do you want to do next? Like where are you looking to like take this skill set and this platform that you have now? Where are you looking to go with all of this?
I I am working on, another script right now. Like I would love to.
DIVOS 2?
No, it's not a DIVOS 2, but if someone's like, hey, I'll give you $1 trillion for DIVOS 2, then I'd be like, yeah, absolutely, I'll crank whatever you want out.
Right.
But I am working on a new script and everything that it is hard, like, because I've been working on DIVOS for a decade.
Yeah.
So it's weird and hard. Like, you forget how hard it is to like start on something.
Have people like reached out to you saying, hey, do you like, because of DIVOS, have people been reaching out to you saying, hey, I want to work on a project, or what are your thoughts on this? Have you been getting that kind of stuff?
Yeah, like I definitely have people. I've definitely had people who have approached me being like, oh, I'd love to develop some sort of series like with you, like a DIVOS series or something, and stuff like that. And I've always, I'm in LA. I have a lot of friends who are very creative and everything, so we've always sort of been collaborative.
Right.
But I think they see now that making a feature film is possible. So lately they have been very gung ho, like that thing we wanted to work on. Let's really work on it and everything. So that's fun.
So do you like living in LA? Do you like it?
I love it. I love it here. Yeah, I miss New York. I miss New York a lot.
Yeah.
Like I do think I want to go back to New York, New Jersey at some point.
Sure.
Just because, like, we're from there. I'm totally biased and everything, and my family's there, and I do miss the living in a city. Like LA is a city, but like it's kind of like a glorified suburb.
Right.
You have
the downtown area and then just like suburbs.
Yeah. Exactly. But I do like LA a lot. I like when I moved to LA, I didn't expect to like totally really like it, but I'm like, oh no, I really like it. But I do prefer New York.
That's fair.
But yeah, no, I wrote DIVOS because I, like, first and foremost, I'm an actor, I'm a performer, like that's what I want to do. And I found that, I always found that whenever I would go to auditions, the feedback I would get would be like, you're so funny, you're so like talented and blah, 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 charismatic, blah, 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 blah. But like you sort of fall through the cracks of types and everything. Because we don't know how to categorize you as like a type or like an age or something like that. You are an older being, but you have this sort of energy about you and everything. So I found that it was hard to sort of get roles just because they weren't writing stuff for little leprechaun-y redheads
like me
out there. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
We are
Do you
each other's competition.
Do you feel pressure to not only follow up DIVOS, but to, because you were talking just now about the there not being a lot of opportunities for people, like you, right? Despite the talent that you obviously have, do you feel the pressure to, given that there are people that are just ridiculously talented that do fall through the cracks, that look up to people like you that have found a way to elevate their game? Do you feel the pressure to live up to that?
Oh, well, now I do, I guess. Now that you mention it. I mean, the thing is, I find that with a lot of people who sort of fall through the cracks, like a lot of them kind of naturally have discovered or will soon discover that they kind of have to really carry a lot of weight for themselves. And then sort of pull them up by the bootstraps. So I have faith that like people will discover how to accomplish what they want to accomplish. I'm definitely with them in their frustration. And I hope that people can look at me and say like, oh, he did this, and believe me, like I never in a million years expected to be in this type of like leadership position, to be like this executive producer of this film, and to be like the one calling the shots and like writing the paychecks. Like I never had that personality in the slightest. Like you always had that. Like you were always gung ho. Like you were always gung ho. Like you were like, we're gonna do this and we're gonna assemble all these people. Like you are a natural, like born director and like creator. Like I saw the Kelsey Awards last year.
Yeah.
And I was just like blown away. I was like, these are basically the Tony Awards. Like there are comedic segments, like there are dance numbers, like this is so much work. So you understand how much work and energy and specificity and detail you put into all that kind of stuff. And people don't see that. Like they just think, oh, Keenan just goes up on stage and does it. And it's just like,
it's like, no, they don't see the 99% of the work that the team like puts into that. Oh no, I totally get that. Like, so that's a very good point. Sure.
Yeah. And so I never foresaw that for myself, like in the slightest, but I was just like, I have to do what I have to freaking do.
Right.
To you know, have to say, this is the type of character that I can play.
Sure.
This is who I am. This is the type of comedy that I can write. Like so I was like, even though I didn't necessarily desire this position, this is the position that I have to put myself in to eventually, hopefully one day, do what I want to do and showcase myself to people.
Was it hard to like because like I mean that's an easy question to answer, obviously, because obviously it's hard, but like you're working with like a lot of established people, like Nicole Sullivan. She's been in the game for quite some time, right? I remember watching her like back in like the Mad TV days, like doing her thing. She's a brilliant comedian, actress, she's fantastic. So when you are surrounded by people that have been doing this for quite some time, that are looking to you for answers and for leadership, what was that like? Was that just like
It's so interesting because you work with these established people and you're just like, oh, they're just people like me. You know, Nicole Sullivan is just an actress like me who's just like, okay, what do you want me to do? I can do it. And you know, and the thing is, like, she's an incredible, like, she's amazing. Like, she, like, on set, she was just, like, so gung-ho with everything, and she just nailed it completely. Like, she was just such a,
one of my favorite scenes from that movie, and I don't want to go into too much detail because this will give some vital plot points away, but there was a scene where you kind of have this back and forth with her. And I think you know what scene I'm talking about. I think you're like looking for food in the kitchen, and then you're looking for, you know, that exchange right there is like so genuine because even though like I think some of the things you said, like I don't think some people would actually like say it unless they might say it, who knows. But
they're horrible.
It's because those were some pretty horrible things that were said. But here's the thing, Matt. It's things that a lot of us sometimes would think. Right? Even though like we may not come out and say it, there's some things that we would think. And then so your genuine feeling there on top of her genuine reaction to what you were saying, that was one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Like hands down.
You know, that was the first scene we shot with her.
No way.
Yeah, and the thing is she couldn't go. We had a table read before we started production. And so she wasn't able to make the table read, and I don't know what she was doing. And so the first time I met her was on set, like when we were shooting. And so I walk into, you know, the room where they were doing makeup, and I was, you know, we were talking for like 1 minute, and she was just like, oh, it's so great to meet you. I love the script. And I was like, oh my God, I love you. I'm so happy you're playing my mom and everything. And then literally 2 seconds later, the director, like Ryan, walked in, and he was just like, okay, so by the way, we're shooting scene 50 first. And we were both just like, that's the scene. Like that's like the scene. And we're like, oh my God, like we literally just met, and now we have to have this like very, very sort of intimate, serious scene that's supposed to be between like a mother and son and everything. So we have to have that mother-son chemistry like right away and everything. But but she's just so talented that it was just so easy to to do it with her. It was just like, oh girl, you nailed it. Like, get out.
Right. No, well, I very much just enjoyed like this entire movie, and like like I said before, I was sitting there, I'm like, that's Matt Steele doing his thing, and to see just Nottingham North Stars like just like making it, because like there's a bunch of y'all out there right now that are just doing your thing right now, and I am all about it, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm looking forward to my role in DIVOS 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly what it's going to be.
Where I play the gym teacher. I just want to play a gym teacher.
The gym teacher, we're going to be rivals, girl. Like, you are going to
be... Yes.
And that's going to be the PR, what's it called? Pitch. Like, it's going to be like, oh, they were rivals in high school. even though we weren't. Like, we were friends. Like, but, like, that's how we'll swing it. And then we'll bring Corey.
Wait, you know what's funny? I actually think of you a lot because I'm that person. Like, you're gonna think I'm nuts. I'm that person that listens to Oklahoma all the time, and because I love Oklahoma. And you
want to see my Spotify shuffle?
You played Will in that, right? My senior year, your junior, and I'll never forget because the number Kansas City. I remember watching you in that because I was Judd Fry, so I honestly wasn't in that number.
You didn't dance.
It's like I was definitely not in that number, but I remember watching you from the wings, being like, he's so good. He's so good.
Thanks.
I've always enjoyed your company, and I'm so happy that you have found this success, and I'm wishing you nothing but more of that. I want more of that.
I wish the same to you. Like, you do so much. Like, you are just go, and like everything you do is like looks so good, and it's so like the Kelsey Awards. I was just because I have not seen a show at Kelsey Theater in a while because it's hard getting out there and everything.
Yeah.
And so, because I know you direct so much and everything, and then but just like seeing the Kelsey Awards, I'm just like, he took this like something that was just like a fun thing like the Kelsey Awards and everything, and turned it into this.
This year would have been it would have been 11 years. 11 years, and it started out like we're not doing one this year, but like obviously because I don't know if you heard there's a virus outside, and
I've heard of it.
but it started out as a joke. The whole thing started out as a joke, and me and Rachel Tovar were just bored, and she had like this pink camera, like really awful digital camera, and we like filmed these awards, and we did that for 2 years straight, and then Kitty was like, you wanna do it live? And Rachel and I were like, sure. I don't know why, but sure. And so we did it live one year. People were like, oh, that was cool. And so to look at where it was to where it is now.
Yeah.
I'm like, people don't even know. It wasn't even supposed to be like this at all.
And you don't even know how it happened. Like, you don't know how the trajectory turned into what it became. Like, it's like with DIVOS, like when people are like, how did you make it happen? And I'm just like, I don't know. It's been a span of 9 years, and like just like the tiny little steps.
Right.
Somehow I wind up here.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, there were a bajillion sleepless nights and a bajillion tears shed.
Sure.
But
do you feel fulfilled?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of weird because I've been sitting on this for God knows how long. And so it's weird that people are finally able to see it, you know, because this is something that's literally like, I could tell you every frame of that movie, like the back of my hand and everything, and every single punctuation point in the script. But like no one else can. So I would like talk about it and say things like, oh, well, you know, when this happens and everything, and people would be like, what are you talking about? And I'm just like, oh, that's right. You're like, you have no idea what I'm talking about. So it's like, it's kind of just like it's a nice like weight off my shoulders too. Sure. This thing that I've been talking about for years and years and years, and we had a big crowdfunding campaign for it too in 2016. So you know, lots of people gave me contributed money to it and everything. So it's like a nice weight off the shoulders. Just like, don't worry, everyone.
And this like, here you go.
Happened. This did happen.
Right. And it's I hope that I honestly I mean this. I hope that it is the beginning of like a fruitful, successful career for you, because you deserve it. Your family deserves it. Like, you have an incredible family who we didn't even get to mention because they're all incredible. Mike and Linda, just everybody. Like, everybody is just amazing. Like they're all incredible people. Shout out to your older brother, Mike Steele, as well, my friend.
He's probably watching. And he's probably like nitpicking everything. He's probably like, why'd you wear that shirt? Florals are so 2018.
Mike, you leave him alone. You leave him alone. You let him wear the shirts he wants to wear, damn it.
He's the number one critic, but he's the reason why it all happens.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's awesome. I'm so happy we got to sit and chat today, my friend. And
I miss you so much.
I know we need to. Listen, I love LA, and I have spent a lot of time in LA, and I want to come back to LA when the world is not on fire. So
yeah.
So when I'm there, we're having a cocktail and we're chatting.
Let me know when you're in LA. I'll let you know when I'm in Jersey. We'll hang out. We'll make it a moment.
Perfect. Works for me.
Great. Yeah.
Well, friends, for those of you watching, you can go watch DIVOS. It's on Amazon Prime. What else is it on? It's on a bunch of things.
It's on Amazon. It's on iTunes. It's on Vudu. It's on Fandango Now. It is on Google Play. It is on YouTube Movies. It is on streaming like cable services like AT&T, FiOS. Just look it up.
AKA, you have no excuse. It's everywhere.
It's so everywhere, girls. It's everywhere. So,
it's everywhere.
So yeah.
Go watch it. Go watch my friend.
You can go to www.divosthemovies.com to learn more about it, to watch the trailer. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. It's just at DIVOS the Movie.
And you know what I might do? I think I might at some point in this interview, I might either maybe in the beginning, I might actually put the trailer in the beginning.
Go for it. We got a teaser trailer. We got a big trailer. So let me know which file you want.
Yes. No, give me. Actually, can you email me the teaser?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, perfect. Yes, let's do that. Or a scene, whatever you want to do. We can intercut.
I edited the trailers. So I'm.
Did you really?
Yeah. So I'm like, we're putting out the trailers.
Oh my God! No, send me whatever, and then I will happily wait. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cue it up right now. Wait, ready? And ladies and gentlemen, here is the trailer and/or scene from DIVOS.
Sister Heart, can I get an E? Balls and enthusiasm. That's all you need to succeed in show business. A little bit of enthusiasm and a lot of balls will get you a long way.
When my baby performs, he commits.
This is a High School Musical. Politics has nothing to do with this.
You know it doesn't matter to me if I get the lead. I'm just here to have a good time.
Why do you gotta be such a bitch every year, Ricky?
Lord, rehearsals with you all these years have been like going to work every day in hell with Satan. But your era is over.
Lord, give me strength.
And we're back. Wow, that was such a cool.
Crazy.
That was such a cool scene / trailer. I'm so
trailer.
glad.
I don't even know if it was the teaser or the full trailer, but like, I guess I'll find out when I watch.
We'll find out. Well, Matt, thank you so much for sitting with me. I love you, man, and I look forward to chatting with you again soon. Go watch DIVOS, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want some more Vibe with Kai, you can visit my website at thevibewithkai.com, where I'm always posting things that'll help you do good, feel good, be good, and live a good life full of good vibes. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Vibe with Kai. And follow me on Snapchat and TikTok at Kyrus Keenan. My friends, Matt Steele, everybody. I love you, man. I'll see everybody.
Too.
Good vibes.